In fact, there was nothing holding up a whole section of the starboard hull except a few cardboard partitions. Now, the starboard hull means the right side of the ship. The right side of the ship was very badly damaged from the bottom, and only a few cardboard partitions were holding on to it. We had survived for 15 hours since the wave hit. Now, they had sailed for 15 hours after the wave had hit, but Wave Walker would not hold together long enough for us to reach Australia. The author knew that in this broken condition, the ship will not be able to reach Australia. I checked our charts and calculated that there were two small islands a few hundred kilometers to the east. Now, the author checked the charts and calculated that there were two small islands a few hundred kilometers to the east. One of them, Isle Amsterdam, was a French scientific base. Our only hope was to reach these pinpricks in the vast ocean. Their only hope of survival was to reach these very small islands in the vast ocean. But unless the wind and seas abated, that is, the wind and seas subsided, so we could hoist sail and they could raise their sail, our chances would be slim indeed. The chances would be very narrow, very less. The great wave had put our auxiliary engine out of action. The great wave had damaged their engine, put it out of action. On January 4th, after 36 hours of continuous pumping, we reached the last few centimeters of water. Now, after pumping for 36 hours, they were able to reach the last few centimeters of water. Now, we had only to keep pace with the water still coming in. Now, they were able to pump out the water. They had to pump out the water only that was coming in. We could not set any sail on the mainmast. They could not hoist any sail on the mainmast. Pressure on the rigging would simply pull the damaged section of the hull apart, because the pressure that the sails would get because of the strong winds, that would damage the rigging, that is the system of ropes used to support a ship's mast and to control or set the sails. The ropes which were tied to the mast and to the sails, that would get damaged, and the pressure on that would also damage the hull, the remaining part of the ship. So we hoisted the storm jib. Because of that, they hoisted the storm jib. This is very small and this takes less pressure of wind than the other sail, and headed for where I thought the two islands were, and they turned the direction of the ship towards the islands. Mary found some corned beef and cracker biscuits, and we ate our first meal in almost 2 days. Mary found canned beef and cracker biscuits, and they ate something after 2 days. But our respite was short-lived. Their relief was very short-lived. At 4 p.m., black clouds began building up behind us. Again, black clouds started building behind the ship. Within the hour, the wind was back to 40 knots. Again, the wind was blowing very fast, that is 40 knots, and the seas were getting higher. In the sea, the waves were also becoming very high. The weather continued to deteriorate throughout the night, and the weather got worse throughout the night, and by dawn on January 5th, our situation was again desperate. The situation was again very serious. When I went in to comfort the children, John said, "Daddy, are we going to die?" I tried to assure him that we could make it. "But Daddy," he went on, "we aren't afraid of dying if we can all be together. You and Mummy, Sue and I." Now the little boy was so brave. He knew that they were in a very serious condition, and so he was trying to console his father that he was not afraid of dying so long as they all were together. He might not be even knowing the meaning of dying, but still he was being so brave, and he was trying to trying to console his father that he was not afraid. I could find no words with which to respond. He did not know what to answer to the small boy. But I left the children's cabin determined to fight the sea with everything I had. Now he was all the more resolute, all the more determined to fight the seas as much as he could. To protect the weakened starboard side, I decided to heave to with the undamaged port hull facing the oncoming waves, using an impoverished sea anchor of heavy nylon rope and two 22-liter plastic barrels of paraffin. Now he took two plastic paraffin barrels and he tied those barrels under the broken side of the ship, so that the waves would hit the barrels instead of the broken part of the ship, so that this would prevent the damage to the ship. The waves would hit the barrels.